A very happy new year to everybody and welcome to 2020's first instalment of Turf Moor. Here's what's coming up on today's show. I speak to head of BFC in the community, Neil Hart, ahead of his move to become chief executive of the football club. Phil Bird takes us on a poetic journey through the last decade. The women's team are up for the cup. And Nick Pope looks ahead to the visit of Leicester City. Neil Hart will shortly make the step up from head of community to the football club's chief executive. Recently I caught up with Neil to find out how he's looking forward to the new challenge. Well, Neil, congratulations first of all. It's the first time we've had to chat to you since you were appointed chief executive of the football club.
Yeah.
Just give us your immediate reactions and how that settled into you.
Honoured, excited, really looking forward to the challenge. I think a very special football club at the heart of its community. And yeah, really pleased when the chairman asked me to do the job. And I look forward to working with the board of directors, the manager, the football staff and all the staff at the football club and working with the supporters and really trying to maintain things and move things forward.
In many ways, I guess, don't want to put words in your mouth here, but I guess it's sort of a sidestep to you into a footballing role. You've done such an amazing job in the community department. Now you're moving into more of a football side. How will you adapt into that role, do you think?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I've got the transferable skills for it. I think the work we've done within the community team has been unprecedented, really, nationally. We've got a big team now of about 130 staff, 90 full-time, so that's a big operations to manage. It's multi-site. There's multiple projects, over 50 different projects, lots of different practitioners within that team. So I think when you do a chief exec role or you do a managing director role or a senior leadership role, it's about taking your hand to lots of different things. And I think I've definitely got the ability to do that. And you rightly say that the football side is going to be there's a learning curve for me there, but one I'm up for. I know the manager well. We've got a really positive relationship. We've already sat down and had a good chat about things. I know the board of directors. I've got a really good relationship with the likes of Mike Garlick and Barry Kilby and Brian Nelson and the remainder of the board members there. So there's already relationships there, there's already know-how there, there's already knowledge there. So I think it should be a nice fit into the club chief exec role and I should be able to get to grips with it fairly quickly. Yeah,
you touched on it well there. Continuity has been a big key
yeah.
and I guess a major drive in your appointment and the fact that you have Dave here still in his situ while you move across. There's a nice sort of transition period there.
Yeah, I think we're a club that bases itself on stability and continuity, and I think an internal appointment was really important for this football club into this role. Dave and I have a fantastic relationship. There's not a day goes by when Dave and I haven't spoken over the last 4 or 5 years. We've built that really strong bond. I think there's learning there to transfer between the two of us. I'm a different type of person, but I think getting that learning from Dave and spending time with Dave, which is already happening over the coming months, will be really important. And there's a lot of knowledge I can glean from him and a lot of the backstory and some of the detail I can get from him. But I think the ingredients are there and I think we can really make a success of it. I know I can.
Dave's been a very steady hand on the tiller over the past few years as well, steering the club. And in many ways, that role is the eyes and ears of the board, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So the board delegate and the chairman delegates responsibility to the chief executive to run the football club. So that is working on lots of different fronts, from a football side to a ticketing side, to working with the supporters, to stadium, to external partnerships, to media, marketing, comms, to looking at data, to looking at catering and commercial opportunities. So it's a big role, but one I'm up for. I've got the energy. I've got the enthusiasm. I'm certainly going to need energy, as you know, Darren. So, yes, it is a busy period. I think it's only the 17th of January today, but I feel like I've worked about 3 months already this year. So it's been a hectic January. But that's what we live for. We want that energy. We want that, we want lots of things coming at us. Well, I certainly do. I want to be kept busy. I want to be pushed. And I think that I wouldn't have been able to do what I've done with Burnley FC in the community. I didn't have that mindset to grab hold of things and push things forward and work with energy and question things in the right way. And articulate things and deliver, do things. I'm a doer. And I think if one person says to me, what are you, Neil, and who are you? I'm a doer. I make things happen. And I'm committed to doing that for this football club.
And just in closing, a lot's happened at this football club on and off the pitch since you joined.
Yeah.
Where do you see the club as we are now, and where do you see us moving forward?
Well, I think it's been an unbelievable 5 or 6 years. The job Sean has done on the pitch has been unbelievable. To have our 4th season of the Premier League this season, to bounce back in the way we did when we went up as champions. And then off the pitch as well, look at the work we've done with the stadium, a big investment into the corners of the stadium for the disabled supporters. We've got some work to do around the ground to keep moving that forward. The work that's been done with the training ground has been unbelievable. The progress with the academy has been really good, and we're on the right trajectory there. The community work, so everything's there. We're in really good shape. Yes, there are some challenges, but there always is. So I think the foundations are there, there's strong stability, and we can look forward with positivity. Yes, there's work to be done in terms of keeping the squad competitive, and Sean and Mike Riggin, the chairman, and me and Matt Williams and the team of people that come together on that will drive that forward. Yes, there's work to be done on the stadium, and that's a continuous piece of work for us. We need to keep reviewing, we need to keep reflecting, we need to keep collaborating, and that will bring us success moving forward.
Neil, we wish you every success in the role. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Over the past week, we've been gathering your votes to find the Clarets goal of the decade. There's 20 to choose from. See if you can find a favourite in this list.
Ball forward here for Rodriguez. Burnley played well the second half, to be fair. Rodriguez waiting for support. Wallace trying to get forward and help him. He's taking it on his own. Oh, what a run! Oh, what a goal from Jay Rodriguez! That is sensational! That could win the goal of the season. Burnley came knocking at the door. What a run from Rodriguez! 17 for the season.
Beaten to it by Marnie. Strong play from Marnie. Ings. Marnie was fouled. The ball goes to Vokes. Up towards Ings. Good football from Burnley. Fantastic goal. Absolute beauty. And Vokes and Ings have struck again. Fabulous goal. Marnie wins the ball from Henry. And then look at the Ings-Vokes partnership. It's telepathic.
Trippier. Bit of space here for Stanislas. Right to Neely. Brilliant goal. Is magical from Junior Stanislas.
And Kitely's nicked it. Ball back here. Chance for Burnley for Ings inside the box. Dinks it on for Jones. Jones with the shot. Oh, he's got in! David Jones! First league goal against his former club. What a time to get it. David Jones on the score sheet. If Burnley don't win, Derby have to win to keep it going. Here's Arfield to touch it on, to find Barnes. Back to Jones. Jones, nice ball, gets it wide for Kitely. Ball inside from Kitely, looking for Ings. Touched on from Marnie, that's nice. There's Barnes in the middle, looking for him. 1-0 Burnley! Ashley Barnes! His first goal in Turf Moor! And how important could that be? Ashley Barnes, fantastic move from the Clarets. Touch back for Arfield, 1-0 Burnley! Scott Arfield! And all the Burnley players run to the Darwin end. Scott Arfield has got it. Blackburn Rovers 0, Burnley 1. Nice touch inside for Barton. Barton under pressure though from Woods, and caught by Woods by the way. Referee's happy to play on. He's seen that Barton stayed down. Ball inside for Gray, touch back for Arfield. Oh, the goal! Oh, what a strike from Scott Arfield! That is extra special.
You've just seen the goal of the season, Phil. Simple as that.
Found Vokes in space. Can Vokes turn and hit it? He can! Oh, what a start! Oh, what a start! And what a time to get your first Premier League goal! Marnie to touch on. Defoe, lovely turn. Comes away with the ball. It's got Graham Vokes with him. Defoe looking to have a shot. Oh, the goal! Oh, what a goal from Stephen Defoe! Welcome to Turf Moor! What a strike that is! Burnley lead against Hull City. Hendrick to collect it, looking to have a shot. Oh, what a goal! Jeff Hendrick! Oh, what a finish! That is top class from Jeff Hendrick. Helped it on for Defoe, big chance here to make it 2-0. He's hacked it forward. Oh, what a goal! Oh, what a goal from Stephen Defoe. The cheek of it. Referee's ready. Robbie Brady to hit it. Oh, what a finish from Robbie Brady! Welcome to Turf Moor, to Robbie Brady. Worked it well, Burnley, trying to help it on towards Ward. He'll break into the box here, Stephen Ward. Oh, what a goal! Oh, what a goal from Stephen Ward! Burnley took the free kick short, and he's gone back to Stephen Ward, and he smashed it home left-footed. I fancy Defoe to hit this. Defoe does hit it. Hits it well! Oh, what a goal from Stephen Defoe! It's a free kick to die for! It's threaded through nicely for Lennon. Can Lennon get a cross in here? He's on one towards the back post. Barnes! Yeah! Oh, what a goal! It's 4-4 for Ashley Barnes. What a finish, right-footed. No chance for Foster. Burnley have got a lead here, but what a volley that is. On for Goodmanson. Bardsley trying to go on the overlap. Can he help him here? Back for Hendrick. Big chance here. Hendrick shaped up to hit it. Caught to hit it. And in! What a move! The move of the game! Jack Court! He did it against Aberdeen! Has he done it against Bashak Shahir? Swings towards the back post, looking for Ben Mee. Headed away initially. Might fall here for Hendrick! 1-0 Burnley! Oh, and about that from Jeff Hendrick! That is special! Goal of the season contender! And Burnley lead at Stamford Bridge. Option on again for Rodriguez. He had a big chance when Tamori caught him. Looking to have a shot. Oh, and a goal. Jay Rodriguez from distance. It's a mere consolation for Burnley, but it's a fine, fine finish from 25 yards.
It's going to be a tough decision, but you can now visit the website to have your say. Visit burnleyfc.com/GOTD. And celebrating the decade further, club commentator Phil Bird now takes us through the poetry and emotion of a great era for the club.
A first season back in the big time starts off this gripping story. The coil-less Clarets, though, went down in a blaze of glory. They exited with 4 past Spurs and saved the best till last. The fans paid tribute to fallen heroes and what had been a blast. A Lancashire hot pot rivalry brought Preston to Turf Moor, where following a fight back, a Burnley boy made sure. The managerial torch was soon passed on Brian Law's final bow, and the question of a replacement was not who, but how. The final day reminded us of memories to which we'd cling, as Turf Moor bade farewell to an undisputed penalty king. A second season under Howe, though this would be his last. For in October 2012, Eddie returned to his past. Another search intensified. What would the future bring? But as the saying goes, when kings depart, long live the king. Chas smashed records to become Burnley's goal-scoring machine. 20 goals in 17 games, the quickest that we'd seen. Championship football secured at Wolves, worthy of a drink. Foundations laid, next season, but promotion, did you think? The Clarets were finally heroes behind enemy lines. First win over Blackburn Rovers since 1979. And that would be topped on a memorable Easter day as Barnes secured promotion and the Clarets were on their way. Another tough top flight followed, but the fans were overjoyed when the reigning champions fell to a stunner from George Boyd. The Clarets once again fell short, more lessons to learn, but never write the Clarets off, we'd make a quick return. First 3 Lions came calling as Tom Heaton got the nod, the first Claret since Dobbo to make the England squad. A season full of victories fired Burnley to the top. After 23 unbeaten, the Clarets could not be stopped. The title sealed at the Valley heralded a bright new dawn. And as there was no trophy, we had to bring our own. The old lady was back, heralding a summer of celebration, as a town praised their heroes with scenes of jubilation. With Johan, Hendrik and Defoe, new faces ensured we'd cope. And with divine intervention, we even signed a pope. A third go at the big time, this time no boom and bust. An early signal sent to all as Liverpool bit the dust. Turf Moor became a fortress. Home performances were inspired. Alas, form on the road still left something to be desired. With survival in the balance, Selhurst Park played host, where Andre Gray used pace and power to exorcise the ghost. Safe at last, the travelling fans stood to praise their team, but the season that would follow became the stuff of dreams. A win made in Chelsea, sealed on the opening day, 3 up to the champions by half-time, and Burnley were away. Chris Wood made his debut in the latest East Lancs battle, and victorious, this time in the Cup, Rovers were left rattled. A shoulder injury put the captain on the treatment table, but waiting in the wings, Pope was ready, willing and able. The results just kept on coming. Ashley Barnes sent us fourth, and Proudsville was the buzzword of our town in the north. With European football possible, the Clarets steamed ahead, and 5 successive wins defied what all doubters had said. Aberdeen and Istanbul brought postcards from afar, but the ruins of ancient Athens proved a stumbling step too far. A town in mourning wore a shroud of claret, blue and black, as Burnley stood as one to say goodbye to Jimmy Mack. A dose of the Christmas blues forced the manager to take action. Heaton returned, McNeil blossomed, and the Clarets gained some traction. The winds began to flow, with strikers Barnes and Wood on fire, and with Welsh dragons slayed, the Clarets were inspired. 3 seasons in the Premier League, and a local hero back, and with Barnes and Wood alongside, the message was attack. As we march into the 20s, who knows what we will share, but we'll fly the flag of Burnley and sing with an accent exceedingly rare.
To complement their impressive league run, Matt B's women's side are looking to continue that run in the FA Cup. They face Championship side Leicester City in the 4th round.
We can use them. Maybe we could.
Who's just Meg's me then? Who's just Meg's me?
Did you get that on camera?
Sort of.
Okay, Matt, so the Women's FA Cup, we've reached the 4th round, the furthest the team have ever got in the competition. What's the sort of vibe in the team?
I think obviously really happy to have got to that stage. Something that at the start of the year when we set out the targets for the team, the FA Cup was one where for the first time in a couple of years we wanted to target a little bit of a run. Obviously in previous seasons because of the expectations on the league and how those seasons panned out meant that it wasn't as much of a priority, whereas this season it was certainly one where we were happy with the points that we'd got on the board in the league, so we knew that a cup run was something that we could have a little bit of a go at, and obviously we've put the performances in the 2 rounds so far to have got us to this stage, which is massive for the club. We've found that in some games where we've been able to have that bit of character to sort of get ourselves back into games, and obviously a couple of weeks ago that was a good example of that. And now it's about us making sure that we we approach the game coming up with the same mentality.
It's not like we know each other and we look like we actually like each other.
You know each other. Yeah. How have you found the sort of FA Cup journey so far?
Yeah, it's been tough. I mean, the toughest one was obviously the last round against Forest. We lost to them in the league, so to come back and win against them showed real good character, and it showed desire and belief, and it just showed the quality and resilience that we've got in this squad to take us through to the next round.
And what were your thoughts when the draw was being done? Were there any teams you kind of had your eye on? Ended up obviously with Leicester, the league above, so it'll be a tough challenge. But what did you think when you initially found out?
Obviously it was really tense. We were all kind of like listening in, seeing who we got. Obviously, like someone like Man City would have been good. It would have been a really good opportunity to go and play against them. Leicester we're really happy with. It's a game that, yeah, they are in the league above us, but we really think that we can compete, and we think that we can show them what we've got really, and prove to everyone why we are where we are now.
What's the mood within the team at the moment? Sort of how are you feeling about it?
We're confident. We're training hard. We've shown a lot in the league that we're going to be competing for that this year. We're in the top half of our league, Leicester bottom half of their league. So but we're not naive enough to know that it's not going to be a tough game. We're underdogs. We know what the league below us is like, and then a jump into this league is huge. So the standard at that league is going to be huge as well. But we're confident, and we've shown that we can compete in this league in the top half of the table. So there's nothing to say that we can't take that confidence into the game at Leicester.
And a home team advantage as well, so they'll be welcoming them to Padiham.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that we'll have a lot of crowd down on the day as well. I think it'd be great for anyone to come watch. A great spectacle to see WSL Championship level keep competing against us, and a home advantage is obviously great for us.
It's a massive test. Because of obviously with them being in the Women's Championship, we know they're going to be a real test. They're not having the best of seasons, but the Women's Championship is a very tough level, and you look at the teams that are in there and the financial infrastructure that teams at that level, some of them have got. It's by no means a reflection on Leicester with where they're at, because it's a very tough standard. So I think for us, we know that it's going to have to be one of them days in the FA Cup where maybe a few of them will have to underestimate us a little bit, and our players will have to perform to the letter, and every one of us will have to do a job. If we do that, you never know. It's going to be a big ask, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to for 1 minute say that there's any expectation on us to win the game, because there certainly isn't, but there is certainly an expectation on how we apply ourselves. So yeah, the result, everyone will have it down as a Leicester win. We know that, players know that, I know that, but there is an expectation on how we conduct ourselves on the day, and that by no means means that it should be an easy afternoon for Leicester.
And it's not just the women who are preparing for a tie against Leicester City. Nick Pope has been previewing the men's Premier League tie against Leicester City here at Turf Moor.
Chelsea, the comfortable winners here. Their best home win of the campaign.
It's fair to say it was a pretty tough day at the office, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. You go to the big teams in the league, and away from home is especially difficult. It just turned out to be one of them days in the end, unfortunately for us. That first goal was a big one. Like one marginally ruled out, and then we concede, and it's difficult from now on.
It is those fine margins in the Premier League, isn't it? You mentioned the goal being ruled out there. Things just turn in an instant, don't they?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And with the VAR this year, it's another element of that almost. So, it's the biggest and best league in the world. The margins get smaller as you go up the leagues, So when you go to them big teams, the margins are really small, and we're on the wrong side of them.
Yeah, 4 defeats in a row in the Premier League. Now, what do you need to do as a team to turn things round a little bit? Yeah,
work hard's the biggest thing. When everything's easy and rosy, when you've won a few, when you've lost a few, that's when you've got to really dig deep within and find out your character. And we've got a great character and we've got a good squad here, so we know we've got plenty of that in abundance. So hopefully that next win's around the corner.
Does something need to change in the approach, or is it a case of being confident in what you can do as a team, sticking with it and knowing that things will change? Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we've done well the last few years, stay in the Premier League and pick up points. And first part of the season, picked up plenty of wins. So it's just getting back to it almost, and how we did perform earlier in the season almost, and getting back on track and getting back to know what we can do, and performing at that level.
How key as a team is experience? Because most of you have been in this division for at least a couple of years now. The manager has been here over 7 years. How big a part will that play in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I think so. Like you say, it's definitely a bonus to have. To be able to call upon them things that you've gone through in the past. It gives you confidence in itself, and can help you get through these difficult phases. Part of the character as well. That you build your character going through them periods as well, and we've all been through them before of losing a group of games in a row. So it's nothing new to any of us, I wouldn't say. So it's just one of them things that you're glad you've got it. You've got that to kind of fall back on and learn from, and take that into the coming weeks.
What about the manager? He strikes me as someone that would remain quite calm in situations like this, as opposed to sort of shouting, screaming and demanding that something changes quickly. Is that the case? What sort of things has he said to you as a group?
Yeah, of course, like you say about experience, he's someone that's been through it before as a player and a manager, and has seen a hell of a lot of things in the game. So I think you want almost a bit of a both as a player. You need a G up, and we all want things to change, and he wants things to change. So it's being calm about that, and looking at the best solutions for it.
Leicester City up next. Has this game become a little bit bigger, knowing that you could do with a win?
I don't think so. Leicester have done well this season, so it's be a big game. I think for a team like us, every game's a big game in a way. We're not going to blow teams away 5-6-0 many times, if at all. So it's about nicking results along the way throughout the season. On a consistent basis, really. And I think a big thing for us will be get the performance levels back. I think they've dropped over the last couple of weeks, so it'll be a big thing to put a good in performance, and the points. We know that over time in the Premier League, if you put the good performances in over a number amount of games, that you'll get the points that you need. So yeah, it's a home game though. We're confident at home. We like playing at home, so we're looking forward to it.
How do you get back to getting Turf Moor back to being that sort of that difficult place to come that we know that teams really do struggle when they come?
Yeah, I think we've got to get that bounce back on our step, and start the game well. I think that's a big thing, and almost grow into the game that way. You don't want to concede a goal early, or start sloppy. You want to really start on the front foot and really make our mark on the game, and that's how we best perform in the league. So that'll be something that we look to do for sure.
And after Leicester, it's United and Arsenal. It doesn't get any easier in this division, does it?
No, but you have to play on them twice. So that's part of the Premier League. That you got to play them big teams. That's why you want to be here. That's why as a player, you dream playing the Premier League is to play against the big teams. So, and a thrill or something you really want to do is take points off them. You don't want to play against them and just turn up. You really want to make your mark on them, and take points.
Particularly for you, coming from non-league surroundings, these are the games, the periods that you must relish. Yeah,
of course. Coming from kind of that low level, you always watch the Premier League growing up, as a lot of lads do. Week in, week out. The coverage there is nowadays, and the amount of games you can see throughout a week, even and a weekend. It's there for everyone to see. So yeah, as a boy growing up, you watch a lot of it, and a lot of what you watch is the Premier League, and the players you see and the games you watch, such high level. That's just something you always dream and aspire to kind of be involved in.
And that's it for this month's edition of Turf Moor. This Sunday, Sean Dyche takes charge of his 300th league game for the Clarets. Here's to the next milestone, Gaffer.
New manager, new era at Turf Moor. 1-0, Martin Patterson. Well done to Sean Dyche. What a good first game in charge.
Will it fall for eight? It will! 2-1 to Burnley.
There's Barnes in the middle looking for it. 1-0 Burnley. Burnley are promoted back to the Premier League.
They've won it in style. Burnley are the champions. Oh, what a goal! And a 1-3. Burnley have gone forward. European football for the first time in 51 years. Good ball into the middle.